Hello and good evening. My name is Allie from Heart and Soul Connected. I'm the moderator for this wonderful show, Astral Wars with Diane G, known as Kumo Observer. And we have Diana Bowles, aka Oil Painter. And we have Paul White Dragon, who currently doesn't have a channel. However,
No, not yet. I don't even know.
he has a ship. He has a ship, and that's good enough. All right. All right. So, yes, so today we wanted to talk about a few topics that, well, some were left up in the air, some came up this week. And, but we're going to start out with, let's start out with your dream, Paul. Why don't we start out with that?
Yeah. It's I had a few days ago. I had a dream, and what it was is it's usually it's not just a dream. It's like very vivid. I was in some planet, and as you all well know, the Drac War is wrapping up. So this planet had been to. I was in a big fancy futuristic city, and it was it had been through a war and everything, and they were trying to like recover everything. So I was in this tall building in the middle of the city that had a big tower and everything, and I had to go and fix the shield for the city because it got knocked down. So I had to climb that on the outside and go up there and fix it. And I came right back down into the building, and then I look over the windows down, and I see the command ship, my command ship, down on the ground by the water, and they started to leave. And I'm thinking like, oh, really? I'm going to get somebody who try to leave me behind without me. So so then I started to finish wrapping it up and calling them and everything, and then this door on the side opens up, and this draconian comes right back out, and he attacked me. So
Oh,
I had to kill it because you don't mess with those guys. You just do them,
mhm.
and
Wow.
there's no talking. There's nothing. You can't do that to those guys. So I killed them, and then I went in the door to see what was in there, and inside there was a room. It was kind of dark. There was it looked like a female draconian with a little baby. Now I assumed that was the guy's family, but I don't even know if these critters have families. So then
Mhm.
I was thinking, well, suppose she attacked. Well, she didn't attack. She was like really scared. So I called somebody else in, and they took her away. So
Mhm.
so then I'm sitting there. I got the thing fixed and everything, and then I put it in for the dream show, and then a couple of days later, I made this watercolor,
Ah,
and
okay.
that's
Beautiful.
a representation of that city.
Hmm.
And
Wow.
if you can see the center building with a big tall thing, it's kind of crooked. It
Uh-huh.
wasn't knocked down, but it was like it had been hit. So I had to climb all the way up to the top and fix it on the
Wow.
outside,
Uh,
which it's like I don't like heights.
Oh dear.
So
Wow.
that's after what we talked about in the dream show, and I made a couple of pictures there, but I mean they're not important. This is the one I wanted to show.
Uh-huh. Yep. Wow. It's gorgeous. I love the purple sky, Paul. It's gorgeous. Yeah. Wow. Very nice. Well, all right. Well, thank you for telling us about that. I love that. So there's a couple things that we have talked about backstage that everybody's going to sort of weigh in on. One of it will be before we leave. They're going to tell you about the ships that they man. But before we get to that, um, is some information about some stars that have exploded today that Diane is going to share with us. And then we're going to talk about Atlas and A1 Atlas, which is the great big probe, last time Paul said, that's coming its way towards Earth or us. And so we're going to have, and if anybody has any questions about anything, or if you want to ask one or the other, let us know, because we're here to offer you what you want to hear as well. So, Diana, why don't you tell us about the stars?
Oh, it couldn't have happened at a better time, I think, before we're coming on today. So I'd say 3 hours ago or so, right around in that time frame. Um, Two stars went supernova and exploded, a red and a blue. Okay. We also had a flare shut off out of the coronal hole that's in the sun right now and hit something. Now I cannot exactly remember what he said. Things like this, I get so excited. I usually watch the video a couple of times. So I
Uh-huh.
put a link to Stefan Burns. He had this drop down. Well, it's probably an hour and a half now since this video came out.
Mhm.
And so if you go there and watch it, it's just amazing. Of course, he talks about Three Eye Atlas because this is all a part of it, right?
Okay.
It's on a collision path with the sun, of course, and with Mars. And that brings us to Linda Moulton Howe.
Right.
She does a show called Earth Files, and last night she had Brandenburg on, and he's quite the expert of all interstellar, um, well, comets as well as interstellar things in the sky, and he's been at it for a long time. And I can't remember what year it was, but it's been quite some time since he wrote the book The Death of Mars.
Mm-hmm.
Which brings us to what so many of us are thinking about Mars being our home planet, being where we came from as humans, right? And it makes sense. And so watching both of these videos is important. So I've put the links in there in the chat. So everybody take note, click on it, go and just start it so that you know where it is and you can get back to it later after the show tonight. It's worth watching both of them. And the fact that she aired that last night and this happened today.
Yeah.
You've got to draw your own conclusions, but
And so Diana said that she felt sleepy, and Diane said she was wide awake, right?
Yeah.
Right. Well, now through the night, I woke up several times, but this flare went off, and whatever it hit that I can't remember what he said, whatever it was that hit, I had just gone to the med bed. In fact, I had just told Paul that I was going. And all of a sudden, it was like something collided with my body. I just, and for an hour I slept. And then when I woke up, I was trying to read something and I just kept nodding off and kept nodding off for another hour. Yeah. So I got tired, but it's not like I didn't sleep a solid night last night, because I didn't, like I get up every 3 hours. But that is my normal. I mean,
yeah. I think it's important to also mention that Linda Moulton Howe has been an investigative journalist with the UFO phenomena probably for 50 years.
Well,
and she just said she was 83. So that makes perfect sense.
She only looks like she's 50.
She looks very good. Yeah,
she does. She started in 1983, and she's a Deadly Harvest. She's written that. She's been on Prometheus with, all the guys from Ancient Aliens and so many different shows, history shows. And of course, Gaia has a lot of her work on it too.
Right. And she also has been on with Art Bell and all those other folk.
Right. Right. Yeah.
But she does have her own channel on YouTube. Linda, I wrote her name here in the chat. It's Linda Moulton, Moulton, and Howe, Howe, just so you guys know. Yeah.
And she does know quite a bit that she doesn't talk about.
Yeah. And it is called the Earth Files. That's the name of her. Yeah. Thank you. Yeah. Yeah. That's awesome. So I see some of you are asking questions that really aren't related, I don't think, to what the topic that we're having. So, no offense, everybody, but pretty much we're sticking to anything that has to do with UFOs or astral traveling within the within the planetary systems. That's what we focus on here on this particular show. So I'm gonna, Diane, anything you want to add to anything here at this
Yeah,
time?
I just want to add that it's interesting that Mars is coming up a lot. A lot of us don't know this, but we either come to Earth or our solar system. We either enter from Venus or from Mars. A lot of us, before we incarnated on Earth, we either incarnate from Mars first or from Venus first. And Paul, I don't know if you know where the city that you showed a while ago is, but I'm getting that it was actually from Mars.
Oh,
Really?
Yeah.
wow. Okay. There seems to be an awful lot of pictures lately of Mars and its desolation, but isn't it true that people are living inside the planet?
Yes.
Yes. Okay.
There's at least 3 civilizations
Okay.
on Mars right now that we know of. One of them is the native Martians, would look like big old ET. Well, actually, it's 4. Then the other ones that look like humans, but they were really tall. But I don't know what happened to them. There's some insectoid race, and then there's the humans. Because we've been there since the 40s.
And you know what? That also takes us right into the Hopi prophecy.
True. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
The 4 worlds of the underground.
There is also a lot of discussion that I have seen in the past about sending young people to Mars back in the 70s.
Oh, yeah.
And there was actually a man who ran for president. He lives here in Washington. And he said he used to go on missions with Barack Obama.
I heard that too. I heard that too.
Okay. Yeah.
And then, I asked Diane about this special program that people talk about called 20 and Back. Supposedly they take you when you're a child and they turn you into a soldier and you serve 20 years and then they regress you back. And she said that wasn't a real program. That's what she got. Right?
Okay.
Correct, Diane?
Yeah, but it can also be because of the perception. Personally, it doesn't make sense to me that you spend 20 years in a higher dimension, because in higher dimensions, time does not exist.
True.
Yeah, and it's a lot tedious to think about it. It's a lot more tedious to de-age a body than just traveling in our light body or astral body outside. So it doesn't sound real to me. But it might be just because they have a different perception about it, and they understand things a lot more because of that explanation.
Right.
Yes.
It's the duality of it all. Because when we're sleeping, we think we're dreaming these missions that we are on, whether they're lucid or whatever, the memory of it. And when we're awake, we think this is the reality we're living, but we're actually able to do all of this because there is no time, period. There isn't even time right now, except
it's a human construct, so we can divvy out parts of our day or a week, year, whatever. Yeah.
5 of our minutes here, maybe a whole lifetime in the 4th and 5th dimension.
Mm-hmm.
You don't know.
Yeah. Wow.
So, to me, like you said, Diane, it sounds kind of implausible that they supposedly take you. What happens to you? Let's say they take me. What are they going to do with an old guy's body? All wrecked and everything. So supposedly they make a clone, stick my head into it. I don't know. It doesn't make any sense. For what? For work 20 years doing what? Collecting trash cans in their offices over there in Mars? I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah. Wow. Well, a lot of people too have said, and I think you have even said, Paul, that the moon is a parking lot.
Yeah, the moon is hollow. I mean, back when they put up all those instruments from in the late 60s, they took one of the, I think the lower part of the module or something, the one that they came back to the ship with, I think the upper part, they got off of that, and then what are they going to do with it and leave it hanging around? No, they crashed it on the moon, and then those instruments recorded that it vibrated like if you hit a bell for several hours.
Okay. Wow.
So that doesn't happen with a solid chunk of rock. It's got to be at least holes in the ground for that to happen.
But isn't it where a lot of people will dock their spaceships to take a rest while
there's sports there and everything. And there's they got all kinds of races there that will go and duke it out with each other, but they got some kind of deals, but they don't. They got their own little areas over here and over there, so over there, and that kind of thing. But personally, I don't want to go there. Some of the stuff they do there is kind of nasty.
Okay. Well, that's good to know. I won't make that part of my agenda coming up.
I've talked to people who RV'd the whole place, and she told me that once what you saw there, that she backed away. I said, "It's a good thing you did, because you don't want to know what really happens there."
Yeah. Okay. Very good. All right. So we want to get into talking about the three of these lovely people that are here today and the ships that they have. But I would like to talk a little more first about Atlas, the A1 Atlas that's apparently huge and heading toward us. And I think these three people can offer their information here at this time. So go right ahead. Whoever would like to go first.
Well, I'm kind of data driven on this because inside of me, I know it's a spaceship, but everybody agrees it's interstellar. Everybody agrees that it has shot off copper, and this copper is green, right? As the patina of copper goes, it becomes green.
Yeah.
And the 3i Atlas is green, and you'll see this in that conversation with Linda Moulton Hall. Okay. And so the one thing that, everybody, all these scientists that are talking about it, they get this little shit-eating grin on their face. We don't know what it is. We just know it is stellar. It's fun to play with that stuff, but and they're all grinning like, oh, this could be first contact. Well, I think we're the first contact. We've been at this for a long time because they can't depend on the governments anywhere to help us out with this. But this could be the moment where, kaboom, they come in from above and just make it known everywhere.
Okay, wonderful. Diane, what you want to add to this?
Yeah, I agree that it's a ship. And the last time we did this, I asked my guides where it came from. And they told me that it was from Zeta Reticuli, which is the star system where the grays come from. And I still get that. Up until now, they've been consistently telling me that. But what's new information that came to me is that it might not be benevolent. And usually I would remote view ships, but for this one I was told not to, so I'm like, why?
Well, can I ask you this? What do you think of, and you too, Paul, and you too, Allie, what do you think of the idea that this was interstellar traveler from Mars when Mars lost its ability to support any life as we know it, right? And now it's on its trajectory back.
Wow, because it's supposedly turned and went that way.
Yes.
Whether or not that's right.
And it's going to go that way again. These dates in October and we're almost there already. Can you believe it? But definitely through the 21st through the 26th of October. Then something big is going to happen on the 30th. We're not going to be able to see it as it gets closer and closer to the sun. But when it is around Mars, we're going to be able to still get a glimpse of its vapor trail and all of that. So I just wonder if really that's what it is.
Yeah. Okay.
That's very possible, Diana, because there were a lot of Zeta Reticuli who had been to our solar system.
Right.
Some of them went to Maldek, and then after Maldek blew up, they went to Mars. So it's very possible that they are gray aliens coming back to Mars.
Could be. Could be.
Yeah.
All right, Paul, your turn.
Well, I always known that it was a probe. I called it a probe. It's and there's an intelligence on it. But I asked Michael. I said, what is it? Because if it's coming around, it's my business. I want to make sure that it doesn't mess around with us. And he told me just watch it. So that's what I'm doing. I've got teams watching it. Now, the other thing is that I've asked several people, and one of them was Dr. Gill, and she really doesn't want to talk about it. She doesn't want to deal with it much, other than saying that it's we don't have to worry about it at this point. And I get the same feeling that we do not need to worry about it at this point. But if we did need to, I can tell you that we're ready. We can put a stop to that and like lickety split. So that doesn't worry me at all. It's been here before, and also I have this friend that I had. She's a remote viewer, and I asked her to look at it, and she said, yeah, she saw. What I told her is the other night, just before I went to sleep. That's when I always look around. I saw some insectoid type creatures, insects, big.
Okay.
I don't know how big they were. I couldn't tell the size, but they had like a smooth face. I saw mandibles. It kind of like a grasshopper, but the grasshopper had big eyes. These had little tiny black eyes, little beady black eyes. So then I had this lady look at it. And she goes, yeah, it's a ship, and it's got like it's got this insect like creatures on it, and she has this insect grasshopper being that's her friend, and she asked them, and this is what she told me. The grasshopper friend told her that they're smaller than his species, but they're just curious. They're not actively bad at this point, and just to watch them. So that's
Leah, why they're cloaking. Do you know why they're cloaking?
They're not really cloaking because that ship is alive, and it's in different dimensions. We can see it because my opinion is, since we're mostly operating in 5D, you can always look down, but you can't always look from down up.
Okay.
And it gets into, places where it can't be seen because it's too close to the sun, like the planet Vulcan. Can't be found, can't be seen. They just know for a fact it's there, right?
Okay.
And even those who are trying to poo-poo, it's there. It's there.
Yeah, and then I asked Dr. Gill, and she did say that she thought that she calls them the Yaels, which is a type of gray being. And then she had a show with Danny Shea, and Danny Shea said they were reptilian. So maybe there's more than one race on it.
Oh, and that's sure. Where did they go, and who did they pick up?
And then she kind of thinks that her feeling is that they're looking around. They're looking around to see what they're maybe colonized, not to have a war with us or anything, but to see what place suits them. And she called it a party ship. I don't know why.
That's interesting.
It doesn't make
what I really hate is that every UFO show, movie, from the time we were kids, always shows that these guys are mean and awful, and they're going to come kill us and annihilate us and everything. And every time I I see, like, since this Atlas thing, people are like, well, we're going to get it. And it just bothers me because aren't there entities that really just want the best for us?
We're their offspring.
Yeah.
You would
Okay.
think.
Yeah.
Not just 3 of them. I mean, this is the second one of 3, a group of 3. They detected 3 others behind it, and also detected another cluster of 7. So there's more than one that following the same trajectory, but they don't know exactly where they're going. And this is
the one from 2017. Don't forget that. That started it.
The what?
What did?
The one from 2017. I always want to say Humea because
whatever.
the one that has the.
Yeah, that's one of them. That's one of them. And then there's another one that they called it a comet, but it's the same thing. It's a probe. I mean, what it is they're probing to see where we're at. If I was them, I'd just turn around and hightail it out of here because we're a mess. We're a mess.
Oh yeah, and then I saw a video of our military shooting a missile at a UFO, and it just bounced off it. Just like, why do we think we could do anything to these things? We're crazy. Right. We don't have the technology. So
knock two, clack two. The day the earth stood still. Remember?
Yes, absolutely. Wow. So, is there anything else we should know about Atlas? Either one of you?
Di?
That it's not dangerous at the moment.
Yeah, I agree. It's not dangerous.
At the moment, it isn't.
Don't worry about it. I don't think we need to worry about it.
Okay.
I don't know.
Just watch it.
Yeah, observe it.
Well, and if
there's
it
a lot
flies
of things
into the
down
sun,
here that are worse than that.
If it flies into the sun, it's either going into the sun and staying there for a while, or it's going to burn up like any other comet,
Wow.
So,
I don't think they got the technology to survive the sun.
Well,
no. Yeah.
You need special shields.
I don't know if they came off of Mars and they went all the way out there all those years ago when Mars exploded and lost its ability and came back. It reminds me of the Star Wars movie, and I can't remember what the name of the movie was. Maybe it was just Voyager, and they had this probe, and the probe had this voice on it that kept saying V'ger, and what it was when they finally got to it and retrieved the probe, it was the Voyager capsule.
Oh,
really? And it was the data that was collected on that capsule.
Oh, for heaven's sake. Wow. That's amazing. We don't hear about these things.
Well, and you're right. And that's Ray Bradbury. How many years ago?
Absolutely. Yeah. So Garnet had seen a UFO in 2022, and he said they're not benevolent, but I never felt frightened. I watched it for 10 minutes following the motorway. So, and that could be another, my feeling is I'm sure there are those that are no good and those that are real good, just like there are here on the earth. And you're going to get that anywhere. But Iron Firehorse, because that's what our military.
Yeah, one more thing I just remembered: if it does land, it might land on Mars, and if it does, Gail said that if it does, that what she gathered was that if it does land on Earth, it would be in Peru someplace.
Okay.
I don't know why it would want to land. I mean, that would be like everybody would have a
maybe they land near Machu Picchu, which is a very sacred area. They probably have been there before.
I don't think Machu Picchu is that important.
Nazca line.
You don't think it's that important?
No. I've that's a person who our remote view that she remote viewed Machu Picchu, and she said it was just like a gathering place, from ancient peoples and stuff. It didn't feel like any really. It had some UFO activity back then, but it wasn't that. They're not around there anymore, so I don't think it's that important.
Well, my son's been there, and he had some experiences when he went, but everybody's got a different experience. So it could have just been something that showed up when he was there. I don't know, but it's interesting. They could think there's gold there. Oh, well, Yeah. They're going to meet Elon on Mars. I love it, Mary.
I can tell you for a fact that guy will never set foot on Mars.
You know, there's a young girl, I think she's 25, and she has volunteered to be the first person to live on Mars and never come back, which I think is nutty. It's like they want to give her a lot of money. Well, what's she going to do with it up on Mars?
Right.
Well, I'm thinking
leave it to
it's
her
possible that they had a Martian lifetime, so they want to come back there.
Maybe.
It's a possibility.
Yeah.
Sure. I agree with that. And she'd leave the money behind for the family that doesn't go with her.
I guess so. But I wouldn't be surprised if he was a Martian general. If you've ever seen him before his facial surgery, you might really think so. He looks like a rodent. He does. He does. And we know that he pretty much is, you know.
I don't like the guy myself. I never
No,
liked
I know.
him. He doesn't have good energy. He's got very strange, authoritative type energy with him. It's not a good person to be around.
Sure. No. And his father actually just got picked up for sexually assaulting his whole family and everything. So, yeah. So Bernadette had this question. Paul, tell me more about Draco. She believes that she was draconian at one point. So I don't know if you can put it in a nutshell for her here, but that was one of the questions that we got.
Well, the Draco is a special kind of reptilian race that is kind of warlike and very they're into conquering and taking over places and stuff. And then they let's say they go to a planet and they take it over, and then they get their leadership to run the place for them. And then they just go in there and do whatever. And they let you stay in the background. Extremely dangerous. I do not recommend anybody to even interact with them. If you do see one, run the other way as fast as you can.
Okay.
And hope you live.
Do they look like dragons?
They kind of look like dragons.
Okay.
And some of them may have. They got different types. I mean, they got like soldiers who are more like brown and gray looking, but the really mean ones are they're very tall and they're white colored, and those are the royals, and those are the big bosses of every one of them, and those are really you talk about you see one and you like faint. Yeah. That's
okay. All right. Kind of like the mafia. All right. All right. Let me see. There was a couple of other questions. Amethyst Lapis Tarot. I'm not sure that if Scientology has anything to do with interstellar travel, but I do know that the guy that was our L. Ron Hubbard was a science fiction writer. Is that not true? Yeah.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah.
There's even a story that he invented that religion on a dare at a bar one time.
Doesn't surprise me.
I don't know how true that is. I mean, it could be just people saying stuff like that just because they don't like what they do.
Could be. Yeah.
But I mean, it doesn't attract me at all. I mean, it sounds to me like there's a lot of good sci-fi there that you should have written books instead of try to make it into a cult or religion, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah. He surely was able to get people to get involved with it. So Sabrina says that she wonders if she saw a UFO several years ago coming home from college, light that was unusual between 90 to 92. There were national news reports of sightings in my hometown. I would say you did see one if you think you saw one, because I know I did see one when I knew I saw one. So what about you guys?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, especially let's go back to the 50s when there was a lot of activity, and my mom was on this. She was like, oh my God. And there wasn't that much light pollution in the neighborhood that I lived in.
Mhm.
And we would look up at the night sky, and these were not planes. These were definitely not planes. It was the jit, 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 back and forth kind of activity.
Yeah.
And they were
Yeah.
high enough that you really couldn't see the colors of lights, but you could see that there was flashing going on. And because of the way they changed their trajectory and went so quickly, it was definitely paying attention. And of course, in those days, it was all over the news over and over again. And that's when all the science fiction movies were coming out,
Yeah.
you know, Swamp Thing and all that stuff, the blob from outer space, and trying to scare the heck out of us, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
But
That's
being that my mom was psychic, she wasn't buying that.
okay. Cool.
I got that for Brina. That was her galactic family from Alpha Centauri. So yeah, it was definitely a UFO. They were just saying hi.
Yeah. Thank you. Well, you know, and another little story about my mom, she had surgery, and they took a piece of metal out of her, a little tiny triangle. And she had it in a pill vial, and when she died, I had that pill vial, and I set it down somewhere, and I don't know what happened to it. I'm sure somebody just accidentally threw it away because, of course, we were cleaning out her house. But they couldn't identify what it was, and I know I'm a hybrid. I am not of this earth. There's no two ways about it.
Wow. That's
I'm
amazing.
a mutt hybrid. I guess several.
Okay. Wow.
I'm not just one type. I'm several types, and I'm a mutt.
It's okay. You're like a Heinz 57 dog, right? Yeah. That's cool. That's really cool. All right. So now I think the panel would like to talk about their own personal ships that they have and give us some information. So I'm going to start with Diane G, and then I'll go to Diana and Paul. So let's do it.
Okay. I had 3 ships that I am aware of. The first one is called Random Ship. And it's Arcturian. All of my personal ships are Arcturian. Random Ship was like an ambulance as well. It seats about 8 people when you see it, and it looks like a saucer, but it has pointy bits. I don't have an illustration for a Random Ship, but yeah, apparently we can name our ships. But for this one, my higher self named it. And so I didn't know why it was named Random Ship. And I thought, hey, who named it? I asked my guides who named it. And they told me it was you. Okay, cool.
You know,
Random Ship.
there is a wording that says, well, that was random. Maybe that's what it was.
Yeah, possibly. But yeah, it's a bit embarrassing when I talk about the name. What's the name of your ship? Oh, it's Random Ship. But that was my very first one. And it was a medical ship. When I started going off on missions on my own, that's the ship that I used. I used to have a pilot until I learned how to fly it myself. Paul White Dragon, he recommended me to a flight school. So I went to Solaris Flight School. And when I got that, and when I learned how to fly, that's when I got my second ship, which is Sprout. It's a personal ship. I don't know if I can show this. Paul made an AI illustration of this. Okay, I'm going to try to share the screen. There we go. Ping. Ali, can you see it?
Yep.
There.
Woo-woo. Looks like a shark.
It's just just one. There are other ones like it in the illustration, but I just have one. And it can change shape, but for most part, it looks like this. So it's a personal ship that I use for traveling to different star systems. And it's both a medical and a military ship. So the difference between this ship and Random Ship is that it has military capabilities, but I don't know if I have used it for combat. I think just for self-defense. So that's my second ship. And it's the one.
That's not a military ship. That's
It's
not
not?
military. No.
It
Oh, cool.
reminds me of Spy versus Spy from Mad Magazine.
That's kind of like a stealth ship. It could be
Yeah.
retrofitted for military purposes, but I don't
I
think they
think
do it like that.
Yeah, I think so because most of the military things that are installed in it were more for stealth. Because I needed to go to different missions. They're like saving missions and medical missions as well. So yeah, I believe it has stealth capabilities.
As soon as I got up there and I could say so, I made sure that all medical ships have upgraded shields and stealth capabilities, and also new ones have escorts, military escorts, to make sure that when you're doing your medical job, that's what I want you to do. Just worry about that. Don't worry about anything else because we'll take care of it.
Uh-huh.
Awesome.
Wow. That's
Thank
very
you,
cool.
Paul.
All
Yeah.
right. Now you have more than two? You have another one?
Yeah, I have another
Yeah.
one.
Okay.
Okay. The third one is in the same screen, Ali.
Okay. I'm sorry. There you go.
This is what happens when I draw something. It's a
That's
rough
all right.
sketch, and that's
That's
all
all
that
right.
I can draw.
Yeah.
That's good.
It looks like a saucer. And this is the medical ship Ion that I don't pilot anymore, but I used to. It has, I think, it used to house 20 people. It can accommodate 20 people, and it was a medical ship that had like teleportation abilities. It used to be a part of, I think it still is a part of the Galactic Squad that goes to different star systems through teleportation. But I don't believe that I use this anymore, or if I still do, I just don't remember it. But yeah, I used to pilot this one, and it looks like this. So those are my ships.
Oh, it's very cool. Well, everybody loves this. I like the simplicity in the design. It's a sexy looking machine. There you go.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
I'm Pleiadian, so I usually have triangles in my ships. I think that's a Pleiadian design that I usually incorporate in my ships.
Cool. Very cool. All right. All right, Diana, tell us about, is the Athena? Is that it? Is that yours? No. That's Paul's.
No. The Viceroy is mine.
The Viceroy.
The Viceroy is mine.
Viceroy.
So don't mind the sketch. This is the Viceroy as I first saw her. She looks just like, very much like, and has this copper cast to it like a Viceroy butterfly.
Yeah, I was going to say it's a butterfly.
Right, and that's like the side view. This is the top view.
Okay.
Now, this came to me, I don't know, it was probably the end of November last year. And then on December 16th, I had seen that she had gotten an upgrade.
Oh.
And I was sketching this out, but I didn't know much about her, right? I hadn't been on her yet. And the thing is I had a chauffeur for this all the time, right? So on December 16th, I saw that, and by February 19th, I saw my chauffeur. But as you can see,
wow,
he's wearing a mask or goggles of some sort, right? So I can't really identify him. Okay, so then the bridge collapsed in March. And I cannot find the drawings. I must have drawn them on a separate piece of paper, and they are not in my book. So, in any of my books. So, anyways, when the bridge collapsed in Maryland.
Maryland. Tell them about that. Yeah.
Right. Okay. At night, when it was 1:00 in the morning. Now, I'm very familiar with that bridge because I lived in DC, and the only way to get to the Delmarva area is to go over it. And it is not a bridge I ever liked going over. So I had seen from above, and then I was down deep into the ocean or water and into the bay and rescuing souls. this is usually the kind of mission that I go on, something that has to rescue souls who are either in so much angst that they want to cross over or they are about to cross over.
Mhm.
And what I had seen from above showed up in photographs on the news report the morning after it had happened. Now I'm on the phone with my niece, and she and I get a lot of crossover dreams. And she's telling me, I had this dream, this bridge collapsed and blah, 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 but I don't know where it was. And we're kibitzing because so much of it was exactly the same. And her husband's in the background going, oh, you guys are crazy, la, la, la. And then on the news comes this breaking report. The Francis Scott Key Bridge had hit the ground, right? And that a barge ran into it and knocked the whole thing down. So that was the guy who was driving my ship was wearing these goggles and his hair was all over the place. Well, then we move on to when Helena came in and knocked down the dam in Asheville. Now that's another place I'm familiar with because I lived in Virginia, and going to Asheville was something we would do because we rode motorcycles. So this was the dream where I was trying to find souls in the water, right?
Mhm.
And one of the things about this dream is these two antique cars showed up. I said one was like a 1940 a 1930 Packard, and then there was a pale yellow pickup truck also. Oh no, a Mercedes Benz. Sorry about that. So, but I couldn't rescue anything because the water was so turbulent that they were just gone.
Mhm.
And that was when I saw who my driver was. And so I've named him Run G because he comes and gets me and takes me because I have to run into the water or anywhere else. And this is Todd Rundgren.
Oh
When
my
he was
word.
17 years old.
Wow.
And tell me that ain't a tall white.
Yeah. Gee
Right?
whiz. Yeah.
I see the
Tom Petty.
resemblance.
Yeah.
Tom Petty's another one who looks,
Uh-huh.
I mean, like, who's that gangly boy, right?
Uh-huh.
Now,
Yeah.
this is what he looks like today, and this is still him. This is what he
Uh-huh.
looks like today.
He has a long face.
A very long face.
Yeah.
Very long
Yeah.
face. He's a little heavier now, as
Yeah.
we all might be.
Right.
So when that happened, the next picture, there's one more picture that I'd like to share because that's when I saw the Viceroy as she upgraded. And this is in a different book because this was, I thought a dam had broke in this rescue mission.
Mhm.
But in reality, what this was when the glacier broke off and flattened Blatten in the Alps.
Okay.
And I was looking for that guy, the only one who was out with his flock of sheep and didn't get word to evacuate like the rest of the town had gotten. And he was trapped in the glacier. And so that brings us to my dreams always tell me where I've been. And you know, Allie, these dream books of mine, they're filled with us getting together, coding and doing all kinds of crazy things. So
Yep. Amazing.
Believe it even if you don't remember all of it. What you did it. You think you did it, you did it.
Yeah, I agree with you 100%. Yeah. Wow. All right, Paul, your turn.
Well, I basically deal with three ships. One of them is the Athena.
Okay.
And the Athenas are all like they're live ships, they're entities. The entity who is the Athena is an Arcturian lady, and her and I are like very close, and we kid around, and she presents to me like a lady, you know, with armor and stuff, you know, one of these Spartan types, Amazon. She's very strong. anyways, I've always known that I've had a ship somewhere, and what it was, the ship looked. I had it in storage for a long time, and I got that once it became apparent that I was going to need it. I took it out of storage, which is a different dimension, and there was nothing. There was nothing wrong with the ship. It was like a saucer, maybe 20 to 30 feet wide. Everything worked on it. There was nothing wrong with it, but it wasn't going to cut it. So I went to the Athena. I said, "Listen, I got this ship here. I want to get an upgrade, and this is the stuff that I want on it. This, that, and the other." And she goes, "Okay, all right." So she took it, and about a week later, I got what I have now. That is the Diana, but it wasn't called the Diana back then. It was called the Bubo, which is the little owl of Athena's little owl was called Bubo. And then I had that like that for a while, and then it was like, I'm not happy with that name. So I asked the entity that is my ship. And by the way, that entity is another Arcturian lady. That is part of my Arcturian family who volunteered to be a ship for me. And I said, I don't like this name. She didn't care, but I said, you and Athena decide what name you want. So they came up with Diana. So, and Diana presents herself like one of these Roman ladies with a toga, white toga. It's very regal, and the sandals, extremely beautiful. So
Wow.
I just go to the ship just to go see her. So
Cool.
it's got the ship is she took the ship and she expanded it to about 250 feet wide. Its main shape is another saucer, because I like saucers, and I found out from Diane that I've been studying up for ship design in Arcturus for at least 5 lifetimes, and then I did some design up in the Pleiadians, in the Pleiades. So I told her, go ahead, and I want this, that, and I give her a list, and she goes, okay, fine. So they gutted the inside, because the inside was just very small. It wasn't, you could put maybe 5-6 people in it. So the whole works. The dimensional expansion is like the TARDIS. It's bigger on the inside than it is on the outside. So right now the ship can easily hold 3,500 people.
Wow.
It's got a scientific lab in it. It's got a large medical facilities with a bunch of med beds, and it's got transporters. It's even got a holodeck like in Star Trek. I put it in a holodeck. Every time I want something new, I just tell them. I tell Athena, and she goes in. She goes, go ahead and does it. So you handle everything, all the permits and everything else, and she does that. So I got it configured right now as a mission support vessel. It is my private ship. If somebody tries to take it away from me, they're gonna fight it in their hand. So I ain't gonna. So that's the second ship, and by the way, it's all refitted almost like the Athena, except it's smaller. So you don't want to mess with her. That's what I can say. And then when it became apparent I was going to need a command ship, I have one made up. I designed one, and it looks like a long, elongated spindle shape. And that one is like 2 miles long. It's a command ship, but that one also Arcturian, entirely Arcturian, but it's the entity of the ship is a male. It's a male. I call the ship's name is Michael Spear, and I call him Spear. And he's very professional, very, very professional. This guy is like, yes, sir, no, sir, that kind of deal.
And he's Arcturian as well.
He's Arcturian, yeah. Apparently, the Arcturians had a very strong military past. And some of them still do. All I can say about that is that you do not want to be in the wrong side of the Arcturians, because that's it. That's the end of you.
No.
It's not. That's how powerful these ships are. I mean,
wow.
the Athena. I have been to that flight school that Diane went to that I recommended. And Michael came
Yep.
to me one day and says, I want you to go to Solaris for a month and a half. He didn't say what for. And I said, okay, how am I going to get there? I figured it out. So I went there, and it turned out I went for flight school. And what it was is I was learning to fly the Athena. So I flew the Athena. It's one of the pilots. And that was really something else. I never, I mean, you could see like in a sphere all over the place. And if you put your attention on an area of the sky, and like it was like a telescope, and you can.
How much horsepower are we talking about? Do you know?
Huh?
Horsepower? How much horsepower or whatever would you say?
Oh, the Athena it's crystal power. It never needs refueling ever.
Okay.
And it's I consider it one of the most powerful ships on this galaxy.
Sure.
It's a living ship, right?
It changes shape. Like my personal ship can change shape. That's one of the Arcturian features. It changes shape based on what you need. And also, not only the Athena not only can change shape, it also can split several times.
Okay.
Into copies of itself. And I've seen it do this up to 17 times. And I figured, wow, 17. Okay.
Yeah. Wow. Leah wants to know, are you flying telepathically?
Oh, no. When you fly those ships, you become one with the ship.
Okay.
It's like on the Athena, it's like this kind of chair that grew up out of the floor. A chair grew up out of the floor. Sit in it, and you like your mind melds with the ship. It's
cool.
It's like the Vulcan.
Yeah. Like a Vulcan mind meld. Yeah.
You are the ship at that point.
Sure.
She's still there behind me, but she's like, let me do it.
Okay.
In case I mess up.
Yeah. So here's a good one to ponder. We're almost right at the end of our hour. Leah wonders, can we have a ship and just don't know it?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, it's very possible.
I would doubt it if you don't have one, Leah. You're just not aware of it. What you need to do is just tune into it. And we'll find out that it's easier because it is your ship. That ship's made for you to do whatever it is that you do. Let's say if you get a job and you got to go to the other side of the galaxy, how are you going to get there?
Right.
Yeah, but currently I'm getting that, Leah, right now you don't have a ship, but you do work on the Athena.
Yeah, she does. She does.
Okay.
She works.
Getting ready to get your own, Leah.
She works on the medical side. Well, maybe she's going to have one in the future. I mean, most people have their own medical ship kind of thing.
She's made changes in her life that can certainly put her in this position to be ready to man her own ship.
Wow.
And you don't necessarily have to fly it. I mean, I don't fly my ship. I have pilot. Ships can be flown several ways. I can fly it. The ship itself can fly it, or there's trained pilots that can fly it.
Yeah.
Runji.
Or one thing that I made sure that the Athena can fly my ship too.
Okay. Well, and Runji flies mine even still. Because I'm in such a hurry, he gets me there. I go do what I got to do, from rescuing, trafficked children and people, and just, all of that sort of thing. As well as rescuing souls that are trying to cross over, as those 5 workers on the bridge. That's what else was in the picture. Was I was also then suddenly doing laundry for them, and they all came in wearing beige bathrobes, Turkish, very heavy, thick Turkish robes. And Michael came in, Archangel Michael came in and called for them. And I said, okay. And I went to get my crew together because they weren't the only ones that were in this room. And he said, no, you're done. You're okay now. You stay here. And he took them and off they went. to the
Well,
next one.
next one. Wow. Well, we have reached our hour. What an interesting set of information we got here from you guys today.
Wasn't it?
Everybody just loves it, and it's wonderful. We got to hear from all of you and to hear about your ships this time. And so I just want to say that if anybody has specific things they would like to know for the next show, which is in 2 weeks, all you need to do is email one of us and tell us, I'd like to know about Alpha Centauri or something like that, and whatever it is. But please try to have it in the astral information regarding ships or planets or whatever, and we will definitely love to answer those questions for you on the next show. So
Yeah, for sure.
yeah,
and who
so
knows where we'll go in between?
who knows? That's right. We may go on the other side of the sun, if there is such a thing. Yeah.
We may take a ride on the AI.
Yeah.
I love it. I love it. Thank
Oh,
you.
I meant
so
to
much.
say 3i.
Yeah, 3i. Thank you so much. And thanks to the moderators on all 3 channels. We really, really appreciate it. And thanks to Diane G. And Diana Bowles, and of course, Paul White Dragon. And we look forward to seeing you again in 2 weeks from today. So thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye, everybody. Bye-bye.